Good morning, welcome to the premium public video discussion for Friday, May 5th, 2023. I have some great news for you. That ball of fire in the sky is called the sun is actually going to be out for much of this weekend. Yes, we finally don't get a washout type weekend or rain or anything of that nature. So if you have any outdoor plans for this weekend, like cutting the lawn, for example, you're going to be able to do it. So there we go. There's a little good news right off the bat, right? So let's dive into seeing what's going on with this pattern. As we talked about in the live chat on Wednesday, which by the way we're having our next one on Monday at 8 p.m. You can see tranquil conditions are in place right now. Now we have a few troughs rotating around, and that's leading to some variable cloud cover, but no rainfall is being reported throughout the region. A little bit of fog down towards southwest New Jersey with visibility below a mile. But other than that, tranquil conditions are in place, pretty good for the rush hour traffic. Temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, mid 40s in your suburbs, and mid to upper 40s in your urban areas with light and variable winds. You can see on the surface map here, a lot of troughs rotating around as our upper level low begins to exit, but high pressure is starting to take control. But notice, we still have a lot of activity floating around. So what is going on with the overall theme of this pattern? What's the driver? And what I'm going to do is show you the sea surface temperatures here, okay? We have a lot of things going on in the atmosphere that is changing. Now, naturally, in spring, you see a lot of changes going on in the atmosphere anyway, because we're going from a cold season to a warm season. So, naturally, your polar and subtropical jet streams lift a little bit further north. They typically aren't as intense. And you start to see more of a reduction in the thermal gradient. So therefore, your weather patterns overall become a little bit different, okay? But something very interesting is happening in the Pacific. And we get a lot of our influences from the Pacific, especially in the warm seasons, spring and summer. And what we're seeing is developing El Nino, which we all know about. You can see it all over the media. But look at the northern Pacific there. That is called a negative PDO. Now, typically, when you have an El Nino developing, you typically get a positive PDO developing. What that is basically the reverse of this. You get warm water down the west coast here that helps enhance your El Nino development, and you get cold water right here. And what that typically does is support a trough more around the west, and you get storms coming into California, and just a lot of rainfall, right? Not so in this one. Now, it's I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's typically not something that you pair an developing El Nino with, is this negative PDO. And the reason why this has an important influence is that it leads to a bit of a counteraction to El Nino, okay? And it kind of displaces the lifting parameters. So instead of having a trough on the west coast, what you end up with is a ridge on the west coast, a trough around the Aleutians, and a trough over the eastern United States with an active subtropical jet stream, which, as we know, has already produced some pretty good rainfall events. This signal would suggest more is on the way. Not this weekend. No, this weekend will be nice. But going forward, well, unfortunately, if you're looking for a quiet, hot and humid summer, this is not the signal for that. So very interesting. We'll talk about this more on Monday, but this is the driver here because you're not really seeing a lot in the stratosphere right now because you get more direct sunlight, so there isn't that type of thermal gradient, major stratospheric warming and cooling and all that stuff. It kind of goes neutral in terms of impacts. So what you end up with is you have to focus more on what's going on in tropical forcing. And this is a very interesting signal that we will be keeping an eye on. Now, like I said, because of this evolution, you're getting more of a convoluted weather pattern. So we get a break in our active weather pattern, which means that our trough finally gets displaced out into the Atlantic. Our ridge begins to shift towards us, and we get a trough briefly in the west. But you could already see out in the Pacific, you're already starting to see a trough trying to redevelop around the Aleutians. This ridge will head towards the west coast, and we'll be right back into our active weather pattern again. But at least for now, this ridge will set up a nice little break for us, and we're seeing that very nicely here on the water vapor satellite picture. this circulation, this pesky upper level low is heading out towards the Canadian Maritimes. Heights are starting to rise as a result, but notice our subtropical jet stream remains active. That's why we see all those showers and thunderstorms and stuff off to the west, but it won't be impacting us at least for the next couple of days because we get this nice break. So our upper level lows continue to swing on through and exit, and behind that, you can see nice tranquil weather conditions over the Ohio River Valley that is heading towards us by this afternoon and remaining in place at least until Monday. Then things get unsettled again. And you can see that influence very nicely here on the model guide. So one thing that I'm really keeping an eye on, especially for next week, is this pesky trough around the Canadian Maritimes, which is right here, okay? You're seeing these upper level lows rotating around. Now, naturally, for this time of year, all of these influences are displaced further to the north. But when I see a continuous trough around the Canadian Maritimes, that's a warning sign for backdoor cold fronts and maritime air masses and real pests that can lead to what we call volatility once we get beyond 5 days. So just keep that in mind. That signal here is something that we're going to have to really keep an eye on as the pattern evolves. And we see it here on the GFS guidance and the European Ensemble guidance. You know, this signature here, again, notice the pattern that's split, like I was just saying. Trough around the Aleutians, ridge on the west coast, but our subtropical jet stream undercuts it. Active pattern in the east. Why? Because this feature is spitting shortwave after shortwave out towards the southeast, creating severe weather, while we get polar air masses dropping in. I know you're saying to yourself, why couldn't we see this in winter? Just a little caveat here, if this same pattern developed into winter, all your winter storms would be displaced to the east because this ridge isn't building towards Greenland. So you got below normal heights here. So this is more of a positive NAO. So you get storms either cutting up towards the Great Lakes or out towards the Atlantic Ocean. So just to throw that out there, if you're saying, well, why didn't we have this in the winter? You wouldn't be happy in the winter if you saw this because of this feature here. But regardless, this is an active pattern in the spring and summer, and one which tells me, and you can see once we get beyond 10 days, this signature right here, well, if you're looking for heat waves, this is not your pattern, okay? As long as you have this feature here hanging around the Aleutians, it's going to lead to a nice trough here, and that sets up your active weather pattern and temperatures averaging in general near to below normal. That doesn't mean we won't see above normal temperatures from time to time. It just means it becomes a lot harder because your trough axis is here, so you get your cold fronts swinging on through, and you get showers and thunderstorms, and you have a hard time building up that real intense heat that you would expect in the summer. So we'll see if this continues to be a theme as we move on through the spring and into the summer months. I mean, it is May 5th, so summer is June 1st, so at least meteorologically. So we're not that far away from setting up our summer pattern. So some very interesting stuff that is evolving here. And so you can see the lifting involved here with our ridge building in. It's going to set up some nice tranquil weather conditions all the way on through Monday. And then on Tuesday, we get our first shortwave coming through. Now, notice the pattern here. You get a ridge axis building over the upper Midwest, and that leads to shortwaves dropping in from the Great Lakes around here. So not really any type of organized widespread heavy rainfall events in this type of pattern. What you deal with is a lot of pesky cold fronts moving through, which scad showers and thunderstorms that can move through in the afternoon. Not a whole day rain events, but just a lot of pesky showers and thunderstorms. You can see the 850 millibar temperatures moderate nicely for this upcoming weekend into Monday, but then remain generally cool until we get a little more building here. Again, as we head towards the middle of May, our polar air masses continue to lose punch, but you can see that this right here, this setup here, is not one that would support above normal temperatures. So we're either going to push to near normal or below normal. That's where we're at right now. So let's walk through our forecast for today. Look for scattered cloud cover and isolated showers possible here and there, but nothing like what we've been seeing over the past couple of days. Very, very isolated. Look for high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the immediate coast, upper 50s to lower 60s in the Delaware River Valley. Get used to that theme once again throughout much of this forecast. For tonight into tomorrow morning, clear skies, scattered cloud cover, light and variable winds. Beautiful, but the temperatures are going to fall because of those light and variable winds. Look for low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s in your suburbs and over the interior. Mid to upper 40s everywhere else, especially your urban areas. Where the winds go light, do not be surprised if temperatures fall off into the mid-30s in the Poconos or Catskills, some secluded valleys, somewhere like that, because you'll have optimal radiational cooling. For tomorrow afternoon, high pressure control, beautiful. Sunny, yes, sunny, and comfortable, with high temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s on the coast, and mid to upper 60s in the Delaware River Valley. On Sunday, high pressure remains in control with clear skies to scattered cloud cover. Low temperatures will range from the mid to upper 40s. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s on the immediate coast, and upper 60s to lower 70s in the Delaware River Valley. On Monday, a trough passes to our south, but it looks like it's pretty much going to remain dry. Look for scattered cloud cover with low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast, lower to mid 50s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the upper 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s on the immediate coast, and mid to upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley. On Tuesday, an area of low pressure will pass to our south with the threat for some showers in the afternoon and evening hours. This isn't expected to be a widespread heavy rainfall event or anything of that nature, but some pesky showers will be moving through. Look for low temperatures to range from the lower to mid 50s over the interior and in your suburbs, mid to upper 50s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast, and upper 50s to mid 60s in the Delaware River Valley. On Wednesday, another trough swing is on through with an isolated shower or two in the morning, followed by scattered cloud cover in the afternoon. Look for low temperatures to range from the lower to mid 40s. High temperatures will range from the upper 50s to lower 60s along the immediate coast, mid to upper 60s in the Delaware River Valley, and lower to mid 60s over the interior. On Thursday, high pressure will be in place with scattered cloud cover. I still can't rule out an isolated shower because of this onshore flow, but for the most part, we're just looking at variable cloud cover. Look for low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s along the immediate coast, and upper 60s to lower 70s in the Delaware River Valley. And next Friday, look for scattered cloud cover with a few pesky showers. The cold fronts could be moving through in the evening that could produce more widespread showers in the evening and overnight hours on Friday. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s in your suburbs, and lower to mid 50s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 60s on Long Island, upper 60s to lower 70s along the rest of the coast, lower to mid 70s over the interior, and mid 70s in the Delaware River Valley. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. I hope you enjoyed this premium public video discussion. We do this in the premium section every day, Monday through Friday. So, yeah, throughout the week. And, of course, whenever there's some major storms popping up on the weekends. Thank you, as always, for following. And, as always, stay safe out there.